Oh, I'm working too.
Yeah, well,
And
let's
then I had
get.
people come to me and tell me that he had my social security number and that he was handing it out. I've had that. And what else?
Real quick though. On live then?
There's
Wait,
no
what'd you say?
process. He has no legal rights because A, you can't even prove that you're a US citizen. And
Hey,
B,
Sailor, you're up here
you
attacking
were
this mom for giving whatever the situation was. Did you offer to take the child? Do you have
well he
So,
wanted to, yeah, he wanted to
so
take the
I
child,
don't
but how are
think
you
it's
gonna take care of the
fair.
child?
Okay, so I want to say something, okay? I want to say something. Sailor absolutely fucked up big time. He should have had a fucking ID. He should have got a job. But you took a man in your home with your child, not knowing this man from another state. You are not innocent, girl. He did offer to take care of that baby. You took off
Well,
after
he
he
can't
got,
take care of the
How did
baby.
I
He got
take
no
but
off?
he
I
motherfucking
tried.
stayed
job.
He
at this
could not
house.
find the baby,
No, no,
Sassy.
no, no. He got no motherfucking
Yes,
job. He doesn't even want to take care of
yes, Sassy.
himself.
I have
He
he
was
has
been
two kids that
around
he doesn't
Hold on.
for
see,
this
Can
whole
I
Nicole?
can I
time.
tell you guys something? You guys know he was
One
living in the houses that he was quote unquote fixing up. He never actually owned any of those houses he was fixing here. He was living in those houses without the owners knowing.
really.
Well, hold on, hold on. We're not going to have Nicole speak for you. You have been requested. Here, I'll request it again. Let me drop Swan.
Sailor,
Okay?
get your ass
We're
up
not
here.
doing that. And I'm sorry, Nicole, over here, we do not defend broke bum bitches. So
Sassy,
if you want
but
to
she
hold
is
your
not
own live to
innocent.
defend him, but over here, we don't defend broke bum bitches. Because I've seen this motherfucker squatting for years, not
Listen,
doing
and I'm
shit.
not saying he's innocent whatsoever, but
Right.
come on now. I mean, I've heard you also say many times, Sassy, comments about going around men that you don't know. She literally drove hours and hours and
With her
brought him
money.
in, not knowing a goddamn thing about him.
Yeah, but I think
Well,
a
He's
lot
not
of
she
girls
fucking
are
innocent, Sassy.
I personally wouldn't do that 2 months. That's crazy, especially with a kid. Wrong, nuts. But that's over and done with. Now he put his dick inside her, lived in her house, squatted, made a baby, telling her keep the baby, and he don't even got a fucking job. You're on
Well, I know, I
TikTok
agree. He should have had a job.
24/7.
He should
24/7.
have
There
had a
are
job.
jobs. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at him. There are
I
jobs,
know.
Taylor. There are jobs. Instead of sitting in boxes saying racist shit and talking about camels and Gaza and sand and my sandy vagina, you should have been getting a job, motherfucker. You thought I forgot?
When was the
Never
last time he
forget.
Wait,
had an
Never
what?
actual
forget.
job?
I
Is
never forget, Sailor.
Is
I
he
don't know if he
requesting?
actually I don't know if he's actually had a W-2 job, to be honest,
and
because
more than making a lapse decision or a lapse in judgment, taking in a broke man does not make her a bad person. I hope to God that she learned from that. But he's the one that took advantage of the situation.
I wanted it
Right.
to work. I like had full-hearted hope that it would work, but there was
Did
just
it
no
work?
effort. I can't
How long did
support.
he stay with you without a job? How many months?
I'm sorry.
How many months did he stay with you without a job?
We got to my house, I think it was May 23rd, and it was about a month, 2 months. 2 months, yeah.
Taylor, why won't you be able to come up here? Go reboot the app and try again. What's up, Debbie?
But I think the craziest part was when he didn't even ask me if I was okay or if the baby was okay when he was born. And he doesn't fail to realize that it was hell and high water for 2 weeks in the hospital.
Sailor, go out and come back and try again. You know how to do this shit. Quit acting like an idiot.
Yeah, like
Request
listen,
again.
like like we see what you guys do. We see what you men do on this app. You're putting your dicks in women without no jobs, without fucking insurance, with nothing. You want to fuck them, you want to impregnate them, you want to tell them to keep the baby, and then you want to run off to Jen Jokie's fucking house with her motherfucking tumblers that smell like shit. That's what you guys want to fucking do. And then game all day.
Not all men.
And then game.
Don't say all men.
Okay, I said with these men. And then game all day. Okay?
Right.
We see exactly what you guys do. We see you. We see you. Okay, he's here.
Okay, so
no yelling at her, please.
Where do you want me to start? I've never yelled at her.
We're going to start with the tire place. Try to call you.
The tire place? So again, not that you're going to believe it anyways. I never got the phone call. So she can check the records. Yeah, it's going to show a missed call, but did my phone ring? No. Do I ever answer unwanted calls? No, never. My phone doesn't even ring for phone numbers that aren't saved. And when she's talking about, I asked her to, hold on, you sat here and talked to her for God knows how long. When she's talking about having to advertise for me on Facebook, no, I told her what it takes to create a profile again from scratch, which she knew that, her family knew that. I said that would have to start from the beginning. You never talked to my family. In a fucking area that I don't know anybody. So starting a tattoo profile in an area that you're not in is not as easy as posting it. It's not like posting, hey, I have rims for sale on Facebook. You know? So right. That. And when she says...
So wait, can we go back to 11 minutes? Okay. Can we go back to her saying you never spoke to her family and you saying you have? Because that's two completely different answers.
Yeah, I've had conversations with her mom. Her dad don't like me. That's 100% true.
No, he tried asking my dad and my family to not kick him out because whatever the fucking case was. And he honestly thought, Morgan. I didn't give you the timeline. That's what you fail to realize.
You're not giving them the timeline, though. You're spinning a narrative is what you're doing.
I didn't give you the timeline. My parents did.
I've sat in the kitchen with your mom alone.
I can go ask her right now.
And talk to her countless times. Okay, your dad, no, he is not much of a talker. That's a fact. And I didn't start asking them for more time was when I was towards the end. That's when I was asking. Even your mom said, that's not my decision. That would be his. Correct? Right.
I don't know. I was at work.
But you just said that I never had conversations with your mom. So make up your mind.
Yeah, because my mom tells me everything. I know you didn't have any conversations with any of them. You never even had a conversation with my brother. Why don't you go
ask your mom? Ask your mom right now. You said your mom's there?
Yeah, my mom. Ask her. She's never sat in the kitchen and had a conversation with me. Not one time.
She's going to remember. Trust me. Her mom will remember. And the reason why she's saying that she doesn't know about this call didn't happen is she's saying her mom and her talk, and her mom would go tell her that. Like, my mom would come tell me if she spoke to my spouse. She's like, I just spoke to your spouse. Yeah, so she's saying her mom never came to her.
How many times did you have a conversation?
Well, let's see. We're going to ask the mom.
Yeah. She sat there in the kitchen with me trying to cut Day-Day's nails. Telling me any conversation never happened.
How many times did you have a conversation with Justin?
She's asking about where I'm from.
Sailor.
Privately, without me, was none.
We need to know what the conversation was. Conversation happened. We need to know what conversation. We need to know if it's the same conversation you're saying happened. Of course, the conversation happened. Of course, you spoke to her mother before.
Yeah, she's making.
Yeah, I just asked her if she had any private conversations with him, and she just said no. She said she always had a conversation with me and him.
Can I ask why is this important?
I don't know. She's saying I never had conversations with her family.
Okay. You lived there. I'm assuming you talked to them at some point. If they didn't, it's because they probably had a bum bitch in their house and they didn't want to talk to you. Probably
he lived in the garage. He lived in the garage.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what he was doing while he was in the garage at someone else's home, squatting? He was on a fucking live playing games and talking shit, being a racist little prick.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I've heard all that. I got told a lot of things.
Look at you, bum bitch, talking shit, and you were in someone else's home, squatting, talking shit.
I heard her come up here and say that I gave her social. I don't even know Morgan's fucking social, okay? That came from Camo, which Camo was the one that reached out to you because you sent me that screenshot, remember? Of Camo asking you, saying that he's giving out your social.
Yeah, and I called you about it. So, and you never even told me the straight truth. I can't believe you.
Don't sit here and tell them that you came from me.
I can't believe you. I've never been able to believe you.
With me on the phone. So tell it and tell it
You
right.
had access to all of my
What
documents.
fucking social did I have access to?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You said I had
all
access
of my
to your
shit
social
in my
security
room,
number?
and
Where?
you had access to everything.
Why do you think that he did something? Why do you think that?
Yeah.
Because
What has happened between
he
then
lied
and now
about the
that
fucking
gives you
phone
that
call
notion that
because I did
you
see the
drove
phone call
off?
on the
Hold
phone
on,
log.
Sailor. Hold on. No, I'm just saying because I missed the beginning. Did you get like a credit card or something?
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
No, I'm asking her. Yeah. Answer.
So back to the phone calls. I'm answering the question, but I'm backtracking. I couldn't believe him because of the phone logs. Because the phone logs told me how long. The phone log will tell you how long that phone rings for.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I couldn't. That's one reason why I can't believe him. And then let's back up to you couldn't just promote your tattoo stuff. No. And I told him ways. I said you can create a Facebook page, and then you go and you find, like, you know what town we live in. Why didn't you just look up any Facebook page?
You wanted
Like
her to do your job for you? Is that what you're saying? While you
No, because
game
she's not explaining how
on
I explained
TikTok
to her
and
the
call people
process.
sand N-words and
No,
talk about their sandy
I explained
vaginas?
to her.
You wanted
Can I
her to
talk?
promote
Because all
your
of you guys have
business
fucking
while you're
talked this
on
entire
fucking
time.
TikTok saying racist shit? That's what you want? Your pregnant girlfriend to find
So
you a
is
fucking
this
job
about
so you can sit with
racist
people like
conversations or
Jersey
Morgan
and
giving up a
Jen
baby?
Jokey scamming? Yeah, that's what you were doing? And you want her to do the job for you? You were on live all day. We all saw what the fuck you were doing all day. And you're asking this lady to
Every
do
day.
your job for you while
So
living in her parents' house, you bum bitch. And you're still a bum bitch squatting somewhere else.
no, I have
And
a
then you're
job
asking her
actually.
to keep the baby? For what? Why are
Shaming
you
a
asking her?
mom for
So
making a
what
difficult
Morgan's not
decision like
telling
that
you
is not
about the
doing what
baby?
you think
Fucking
it's
loser.
doing.
Oh, let's hear
Bum
this one.
bitch.
So what Morgan's not telling you about the baby is Morgan sat me down and she's talking about my old friend Bex, who I was supposed to go work with in Boston. So when we had the baby, I had a job lined out. Turns out that person fucked me over and never had that job ready for me. So I banked a lot on that job. I banked a lot on because I was supposed to be making decent money, working like a shoreman type of job, like it's like a fish job. Like
Anyways, continue on.
I let you talk up here, so don't talk over me. You
Yeah,
don't.
but
We
what are
all
you
know
even
what a
trying to
shoreman does.
say?
We know what fishermen do.
Okay, well maybe not all of them do, Morgan. Okay,
Okay, so you were getting a job hookup that
but
fell
yeah,
through for
Fell through
what?
the baby.
by my friend Bex, who turned out to it fell through. She had a whole fucked up situation herself, right? Morgan sat me down and told me that she was giving up the baby for adoption, and I told her. So, at what point were you going to tell me? Like, because to me, this sounded
No,
like
what he fails to tell you is I sat him down before he had left to go meet
Morgan,
up with
stop
this
cutting me off
person.
because you sat up here long enough talking. So now I'm gonna tell them.
No, you had
No, yes,
9
no, that's how
months
that's
to
gonna
get your
work.
shit
You don't get to
together.
talk over me. You don't get to talk over me.
You had
That's-
9 months to get your shit together, and I watched you day in and day out squat out of houses that
So
you're
don't
quote
sit
unquote
there and
working
tell
on.
them a narrative that fits you, that paints you
What do you
better.
mean fits? You
I'm
just
no
said it
better.
all
I'm not a
backwards.
perfect person.
I
I'm not
sat
a
down
perfect
with you
person.
and I
But
told you if you got
you
this
told
job,
them,
that's one thing.
you told them,
But you didn't get the
you sat
job.
up here and you told them, right, that I'm not going to talk about this shit. Well, I am. I can. You told them that you gave that baby up, right?
I never
Who did that
said I
baby go to,
gave the
Morgan?
baby up.
Who did that baby go to? Your
None of your
family
damn
lawyer,
business,
right?
because I would never tell you because you can't
Why
even
are
take
you
care of
focusing
yourself.
on that?
It went to your family lawyer. Morgan, I already know. I've been dealing
No,
with
you
courts
don't
since
know.
then. Yes, I do. I know exactly. She lives right down the street for you, so you get to see
No,
that
she
baby
don't.
every fucking day. You get to look at James. You get to hold James. That's his name, by the way. Tell them the truth. How many ultrasound pictures did you send me while you were voluntary shutting my phone off, turning it back on, shutting it off, and turning it off? I got a
No,
total
I
of
only
probably
turned it off
12
once because
fucking
you
photos,
decided to
ultrasound
sit there
photos.
and call me a bunch of fucking names, and I told you don't play games.
Nobody's calling you names.
No, you called me
You
names, and I
sat
told
there.
you
You
not to
sat
play
there and paint
games.
this narrative like I'm a piece of shit. I am.
You
I
are. What the
100%
fuck
am.
do you
But
mean? You
I
wanted me to keep a
I wanted
baby
that choice.
when
just
I
like
already
you
had an
had.
11-year-old and a fucking
Can somebody mute her?
10-year-old.
Because I'm not going to yell over her. This is wrong.
No, fuck you, because I've had
No,
a
fuck
year
you, because
of
I had that
crying
same
my
right as a
motherfucking
fucking
eyes out
father,
because
bitch.
I did what
I
was
had
best
that
for that
same
baby
right,
because
and
I
you
put
took
my
it from me.
goddamn
You
feelings
took it from
aside.
me.
I put my goddamn
you send me a
feelings aside
fucking
for the
chicken
better of
shit
that
message.
motherfucking baby. Yeah,
You send me a
worthless piece of shit.
I have a customer. I kicked him. Don't name call her. You're the one that left her pregnant.
You
So
had 9
Morgan,
months to get
okay.
your shit together. And I watched you day in and day out on fucking TikTok at my goddamn job on break sometimes. You were
Yeah.
still living in these houses that you did not own, but you were telling people you owned them. And you were living out of those motherfucking houses on a goddamn air mattress with Day Day. And then there's a tent in the backyard. Are you fucking serious? And you still expect me to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, I want you to be in his fucking life. You can totally take care of yourself. You are fucking retarded.
Okay, we don't use
Oh,
that
don't
word,
say that
Morgan.
word.
Sorry.
So where you said that he was nowhere to be found when the baby was born. Where was he?
Oh, he was still on TikTok live squatting in these houses, but he would never tell me where it was.
Okay. Okay. And you know what? This is all the past, Sailor. I'm assuming you have a job now. Do you have a job now? An actual W-2 paying job? Are
Probably
you
Yes,
not.
dream
are
job.
you living on your
What she
own?
didn't
Are you
tell
living
you
on
was
your
the day
own?
she went into labor, she turned my phone off. So I had to switch and get a
No,
brand
I
new
didn't
number.
turn your phone off the day I went
Yes, it
into
was,
labor.
Morgan.
No, I actually still have the
Yes, it was.
screenshots if you
Because
want to shut
Savage
the
was the
fuck
one
up.
that
You
helped
might want
me
to shut the
switch
fuck
my
up.
number over.
You
Yeah,
might
She
because
want to
turned
she's
it
shut
off.
really
up.
thinking of going into labor and turning off your phone. I'm sure that's the first thing on her mind, Sailor.
I'm about
Everyone's
to
out
make
to
you look
get you,
really
right?
You
stupid.
obviously don't know Morgan like I do. She's turned it off
Every,
You
for no
you're
apparent reason.
you look
everyone's
really
out to get
stupid
you,
right
Sailor.
now. I'm telling
Hey,
you, I'm
mute!
about.
For the love of God.
Yes, Sierra, I
I went
talk to
into
you all the time.
labor and I texted him after I had the baby and I had some downtime to myself. I said, "Hey, the phone bill's due." Nothing. I sent a request on my Cash App for the money for his part of the phone bill. He denied it. And then I sent it to his other Cash App account. Nothing. So guess what? You're not going to pay your phone bill. I'm cutting your line off.
So you're mad at her for
Right.
cutting your line off? Are you serious? And you were telling me to pay my
No, because she
motherfucking
was
taxes,
fine. She was
and your
coming around
bum
in the
bitch
boxes fine. She
ass,
was
your bum
perfectly
bitch
fine.
ass couldn't
Coming
pay a
around and
phone
hanging
bill, and
around
you're
and
telling
lingering
me to
around for
pay
like
my
the last
taxes,
two
you little
months of her
motherfucker.
pregnancy.
You're
She
telling me to
popped
pay
up
the
out of nowhere
government,
trying to
you
be
little bitch.
nice. She didn't show any indications and say,
You
"Hey,
don't got a
if you want to
job,
be there when
motherfucker.
he's
She just
born,"
had a baby.
because you
She
know the
just
truth
had a
more.
baby. Fuck you. You get no voice here. She just had a baby, you little bitch, and you're worried about why she didn't come to you nicely about the phone bill? You
Rose
weird
says he works.
motherfucker.
Rose says he
I
works
remember
with Ken doing
verbatim.
Uber.
I
He's
remember verbatim writing to him, "Hey, the phone bill's due." I'm sorry. I
I
need
don't
to
even
mute
know
because
where
I'm
to
shaking.
be. No, you're fine. If you need to drop Morgan, you don't have to do this. We don't have to talk about it.
But she
But
the one
Yeah,
that wants.
Morgan.
Yeah,
just know, oh, she did? Oh, okay. I don't know
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened before I got
I
up
didn't know
here.
nothing about this till right
If
now.
you don't want to go on, just let
Just
us
know,
know,
Morgan,
Morgan.
you do not have to justify any decision that you made after with the child. I don't want you to think that you have to
Right.
fight to prove yourself or anything. That was your decision. You made the right decision. From what he said, you're still in their life. He is not. He has made the decision to not be. He has made the decision to not be in his other kids' lives. He has a track record. So it's crazy that he's saying that the world is out to get him. He still doesn't have a W-2 paying job. I
No, he
can tell you that
doesn't.
right now. I can tell you that right now. He's probably still squatting with that man's wife.
Yeah, he is. Jen
Um,
jokey, the joke, the Tumblr joke that smells like shit. Can I ask you a question? So you were planning on keeping the, and if I ask too, like if it's too personal, you don't have to answer. But you were planning on keeping the baby and decided not to after because you realized what?
No, I sat and I found out. I was happy. I was excited. I
Morgan.
said, "Oh, I'm gonna have a baby. Like this is awesome. I hope it's a boy. Go figure,
Hey,
it's a boy."
Morgan.
Hold on, AP.
Morgan. Hold on. Morgan. Give me a deep breath and talk when you're ready. Don't push yourself. I can hear you tearing up.
I gave him. I had 9 months of making that baby. You had 9 months to get a paycheck job, and you thought that I would not watch. I had 9 months to make a final decision. I told you, I said, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you don't do something for yourself, that's what's going to happen because I cannot financially afford it on my own. I already have two other
Right.
kids, and I'd be damned if I raise another on my own.
It sounds like she was fighting tooth and nail for him to step up and show her that he can be a decent provider for the child
He
that she was
could not do
carrying.
for himself.
And he did not, so she made the choice that was best.
And listen, you
For
learned your
the
lesson,
child.
right? Like not to like bring a guy to your house 2 months later after meeting him on TikTok, right?
Oh yeah, trust me, I haven't had sex in 2
Like you,
years.
let me, yeah, you could have like you can have protected sex.
I'm sorry, it'll be 2 years in May.
You don't have to do that to yourself.
Well,
But I'm just saying, these men, listen, you don't want, listen, marriage is not all what it crack out to be. It really isn't. Just find you a nice gentleman that you really like, and then just move in, and that's it.
and
But
But
not
I
not
on,
too
think it's like
much.
my
Wait at
pattern of
least
choosing men because I came home from
a year and a
deployment
half.
and caught my husband fucking another woman.
Oh, shit.